Hello and welcome to the Set Up for Success show. We are so excited to have you. I love being able to spend this half an hour with you chatting about business and all things, earning more and working less. And I'm here with my fabulous co-host, Danielle Morel.
Hey.
So we're talking about how to have more femininity and fun in your business. So we're so excited. We always love to talk about how to be successful in business, especially if you're a woman in business, especially if you're a woman of color. And one of the things that we learned is that if you do this right, then every other area of your life performs that much better, right? So we're going to go over what is a feminine business and why this is so important, right? Like, why should women lean into a feminine business model? And then we're going to talk about how to add more fun and femininity so that you're able to expand, one, your business, and two, every other area of your life. So if you're watching for the first time, Danielle and I are not only the host of the Set Up for Success show, but we also have a certification program called Set Up for Success Online Business Consultants. So if you're new to us, like, what is that? We teach women and give them a done-for-you business that they're able to help other women and men become set up for success online. So if this is your first time, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you're an OG and you've been watching us for a while, put that in the comments as well. If you are a replay viewer, #replay. We're just so excited to have you today. I'm actually going to kick it over to Danielle so we can get started.
Yes, thank you so much, Tanya, for that awesome introduction to the show. And like she said, hello, April. If you're coming on to the show, whether live or on the replay, say, hey, girl, hey, let us know what you do. If you have a business or if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, what you're thinking of creating, where you're from, we'd love to connect with you down in the comments. And we definitely want this to be a conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with a question. And I want you ladies to let me know in the comments below. Do you know what a feminine business is? Are you aware of that phrase or that term? A feminine business? And do you feel like you have a feminine business? Yes or no? One of the things that Tanya and I really love about the businesses that we have created and that we have helped many dozens and dozens of other women do is that we've been able to build multi six-figure businesses, be full-time online entrepreneurs doing business that really honors and celebrates the unique talent and gifts and intuition and skills really that come naturally to women, instead of always trying to downplay them or feel like they're not good enough or that they won't work in business or that there's something wrong. Or really, to be honest too, is Tanya and I have been really successful at actually leaning in the feminine pieces of business to our advantage, to have more fun, and what does that look like? We infuse more beauty into our brand. Like, if you look at Tanya and I's business and a lot of our clients, you're going to see glamorous photo shoots. You're going to see color palettes that are really geared towards feminine aesthetics. Even, Tanya and I, you can even see from this screen, right? We got some design in the background. Tanya and I are always laughing because I know that if Tanya and I lived in the same house, we would be fighting over flower wallpaper and black and white stripes. We'd be fighting over polka dots. I can feel it, because why? We are not afraid to allow the things that we love in our feminine lifestyle, the girly things about us. We don't downplay those in our business. We actually use that to our advantage. And it's worked very well for us, because we found that women are actually attracted to things that are pretty and feminine and girly, that allow them to operate business in a way that, almost feels like, in a way, Barbie's dream job. Like when you grew up playing Barbies, you're like, man, if I was Barbie, I'd have a pink car and I would, I'd go to a fabulous job with a cute little pink laptop and a pink cell phone. And and then when you go and start a business, it feels like that's not what it is. It feels like, you're going to be, how to put some flats on because you're going to be running around, it's like a lot of hustle and grinding, you're frazzled.
But if we had to define what a feminine business is, for people who are like, I kind of know, but I don't, what would we say?
So absolutely. So to first define, like, what is a feminine business, or what, would say is that it's definitely a business, like I said, that is honoring and celebrating the things that come naturally to women, right? So definitely making sure that it has more around their lifestyle, right? So a lot of the time when you think of a masculine business, it's really like built around like how to make the business really operate well, or what does the business need to be at peak performance. But a feminine business is really taking in consideration, you know, how does a business need to be ran from a women's perspective with all the things that she needs, or you know what I mean, or in her life, right? So that could be like self-care or more time and bandwidth because she has other responsibilities. And something we always talk about is the second shift of unpaid work, which is child rearing, cooking, and cleaning, right? So it's really you know, being conscious of exactly how the modern day woman life really is, and creating a business that really supports that versus fighting against it, right? And so again, how can I create a business that allows me to build it, that honors the things that come to me more naturally versus trying to change it or doing it in a way that's more masculine because that's what we've been taught to do, or that's the only way, or that's usually the only people who've done it who we've had examples to model it from. So that what do you think, Tanya? Is that a good explanation of what a feminine business model is?
I love it. And I love, like, I always think back to like when I was still employed. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be 4 years, girl. Woo! 4 years ago, I got laid off. I'll tell you that story next time, ladies. But coming home and feeling like, oh my God, because I've done I hustled all day, like, and thinking of all the ways that I could be successful in that job really wasn't in alignment to ease flow, wasn't in alignment to being intuitive. It was, these are the numbers that I have to hit, very sales focused, very just different, right? And then still having to come home and be, you know, at the time a fiance, to be you know, a mom and clean and all the things. Like, what I appreciate about feminine business is that when I clock out, I'm still energized. I'm excited to do all the other things, as opposed to feeling drained and feeling like, oh, like now I have to get started on this. Whereas opposed to now where I'm like, oh no, like I get to do this and I'm ready and I'm here for it because I've reserved the energy to be able to do something.
Right. And so why we love talking about what is a feminine business model, why do it have more, you know, feminine fun in your business, is because one of the things, like I was talking to Tanya, is that, you know, there's, first of all, we're going to unpack this too, is that there's nothing wrong, and we actually encourage to have masculine traits in your business. You don't want to have a business that's 100% feminine, right? Because there are things like structures and systems and being able to kind of see things from a logical perspective that you do need in a business to kind of, you know, be successful. But what we find is that a lot of times we're taught a lot of masculine things, structures, hustle, more is more, that we can do a lot, you know, put in all, you know, burn the midnight oil, all of these kind of ways we're taught. And so primarily we are taught masculine ways of doing business primarily. And it's good that we learn that there are feminine ways of doing business that can support us as well, and actually work better for our lifestyle and work in a different way. And like I was telling Tanya, you know, men have testosterone. They're biologically built to be able to handle a lot of stress, a lot of tough decision making, a lot of, you know, because biologically men were hunters and they had to go out into the wilderness and, you know, fight off lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. So they needed some testosterone that they could work under pressure, that they could work longer and pick up heavier things and do things. And women, on the other hand, we don't have that. So it's not biologically in alignment for us to adopt a type of work structure or business where we are, you know, really lacking a chemical that really helps us deal well with stress and bandwidth and doing a whole lot, right? So it's not that masculine way of doing business, which again requires a lot of hustle and grinding mentality, or again, more is more. And so a feminine way of thinking is that you don't have to do more, that you have to be more. So that's like an example of a feminine difference. Masculine business is like, you know, your results is in alignment to your actions. happens, right? And that if you want to get more results in a masculine business, you have to put out more energy, export more, right? That's the masculine. A feminine approach is that to get more, I don't have to do more. I have to be more. I have to energetically, right, be able, because women naturally are receivers, right, versus hunters, versus we're not the people who have to run out and, kill the lions, tigers, and bears. We're somebody that things, right, even in, we don't chase chases us, okay? You know what I mean? So there's a receiving aspect that we naturally attract, right? Things that we want, and it's leaning in and honoring, that you don't have to work as hard. It's tapping into that feminine energy of being more. And like I said, Ty and I talk about this because there's a lot of this conversation. So as much as we say that we don't talk a lot about femininity in business, there is like a rising, there is more talk about feminine business. And we always feel like it's good to have a balanced conversation because we're not in the mindset that, again, you can be in ease and flow all of the time. I think you can if you know how to tap into inspired action. And that's the part we feel like a lot of women miss the mark. They do some feminine action by, I want to trust my feelings, or if I don't feel like it, I don't want to do it. But when I do feel like it and I get the inspired action, it's the lack of taking and trusting that is the things you have to do to see the biggest reward, is acting on that thing. So Ty and we actually are redefining and defining feminine business model as we speak. We're finding things that we love about feminine business that we're incorporating. We know why so many women need to have a feminine business, but we also know that the feminine model that's being presented isn't, this is a spectrum, and we're, what I mean? Like, this isn't, it's just this, you know what I mean? No, we're saying, hey, there's things we love about a feminine business that we want to see more of, but we're unpacking this to define it and redefine it, what the modern feminine business needs to look like, so we can build business for us, by us, right?
Yeah. Well, we talk about this all the time. We always say that the modern woman is no longer a fit for most jobs, right? The 9-to-5 where you're hustling and bustling, working overtime, sometimes nights and weekends, right? And not being able to even do doctor's appointments, right? Why we have to take the day off to go to the doctor, to take our children to the doctor, right? So we already know that that's out of alignment to how we are designed to live and all the responsibilities that we already have. So it's like, why would we build a business that mirrors a job that we're trying to get out of to be able to have a better life and lifestyle, right? So the goal is, if I know what I'm looking for in terms of how I want to live my life, if I know the responsibilities that I have outside of earning, and they involve, to Danielle's point, cooking, cleaning, and child rearing, and also, being sexy and having self-care and spending time with my girlfriend and my husband and all of those things, then I also want to make sure that my business allows me to do that. And that my business becomes the thing that helps me be more of who I am, not take away from who I am.
Right. So what would you say are some ways that we've been, or you've been able to be able to have more, have more of a feminine business?
Well, I feel like one is the time that I spend working. I think I've gone away from the hustle and grind mode. I do make sure that I'm operating from, one of the things I talk a lot about, talk about freedom, right? Time freedom. We talk about financial freedom, but creative freedom. And that to me is huge. Being able to do what I want, create what I want, and be able to, serve women in a way that feels in alignment to how I want to show up, which is very different than other businesses or even a job where you have to do what the job description says, regardless of how you feel, regardless of, what's coming up for you, regardless of anything like that. It is what it is. So I would say definitely being able to have the creative freedom to show up how I want to show up, and as much time as I want to show up, right? Knowing that if I work 20 hours or if I work 10 hours a week, I've built a business that allows me to still earn the income that I need to earn to take care of my family.
Right.
So I would definitely say that. And because of that, the result of that is the reservation of energy. Like I'm able to, again, be able to hang out with my girlfriends and not be like, oh, girl, I'm too tired. Or, plan to, have date night with my husband or to hang out with my daughter or to go to all of her before COVID, to go to all of her basketball practices. And not when I was still employed, I would be rushing to her basketball, rushing to pick her up to go to basketball. I'd be so tired. I'd be so irritated. Like, why am I here? It's just basketball practice. Like, why am I here? And now, again, before COVID, going and feeling like, oh, I get to do this. Like, let's get it. Let's go to basketball practice. Like, because I had already I've created a lifestyle that allowed me to still have, to Danielle's point, bandwidth, to be able to think about other things and not feel tired, frustrated, and just overworked.
Right. That's exactly what we what we believe a feminine business model is, why we want more women to have one, and what our program, the SWC program, delivers on is creating more time and money. We don't want one without the other. Like, we don't want a lot of money and no time to be able to pour into our kids or into our self-care or into our marriage. Well, yeah, we're at our job, we're making all this money, but we come home overworked, burnt out, or we're making money in our business, but we're, doing 50 million things and we're dashing all over the place and people are looking at us like, girl, how do you do this all? I don't want to be the woman where people are like, oh my gosh, you do so much. Like, because it is showing other women that that hustle and grind and moving around is what you have to do. And now we're just creating a generation of burnt out women because we're thinking that's the way you have to be successful in business. Is you got to be doing 7 different revenue streams. You got to be, burning them. You got to be writing a book, writing a speech, doing a tour, releasing t-shirts. You gotta be, you know what I mean? A lot, posting on Instagram. You got so much, that you're trying, like, and then it's other people like, wow, is that the formula? And it actually deters people from wanting to be entrepreneurs because they're like, oh my God, like, that's not my version of, freedom and fun. That looks like, a whole lot more of just more. So, we don't want just a bunch of time, because we know that's another thing. People have a whole lot of time and no money. So it's like, oh, I got time to think and freedom, but I can't do anything if I wanted to. We want both. We want the time and the money. And to us, that's really what a feminine business model is, one that is honoring both. So we have the bandwidth to think and make better decisions as women, to be in flow and honor our creativity and really come up with really good ideas that move the mark versus just spinning our wheels from one idea to the next and burning through them because we don't give our time the ability to think. We don't have the time for it, the money for it. So I want to know down in the comments, if you have both, if you say, I got the time and the money, I want to know if you feel like you are exceeding all your money revenue goals and you've got the time to think, shop, self-care, raise a family, date, trip. If you got all that, say time and the money. I want to hear cha-ching. I want to celebrate you. If you're somebody who's like, I got one but not the other, let me know which one you got, which one you don't. If you got neither, no time and no money, don't feel bad. We've all had our season. Put that down in the comments too. Say, I'm one of the no money, no time. But what our goal here is to give women both. We feel like the most powerful woman is who has both, right? Who has the time to make money boss decisions, money moves, to rejuvenate and know that she's worthy to have both, and that you don't have to sacrifice one for the other, right? You don't have to sacrifice time for money or money for time. You know what I mean? Like, so let us know that. But that's exactly right, Tanya. That's exactly what we are. That's, if you want to know what our program is, you can go to setupforsuccess.biz. And again, this business was, Tanya and I had tried several businesses before realizing, like, wow, this is it. I know I had.
That's a live stream right there. All the businesses.
I have product. I have.
Grab your bag, girl. Grab it.
Huh?
Go ahead and grab your bag.
I go over there and get my e-commerce products over there. I didn't try them all. And when I stumbled across this particular business, I was like, now this one is the magical for a woman. Now, wait a second. I'm getting the time and the money. I'm being able to shout with my kids. It's beyond 2:00 on a Tuesday. Load it up. We're going to buy new shoes. You know what I mean? Just I don't care. We don't have to wait till the weekend. That's when people who got 9 to 5 go to work. The people who walk the mall during the weekday, we get to shop differently. COVID, ain't nobody here. I'm serious. I haven't been to the mall, only to run to the Pandora store. And I don't even tell you what that looks like. But before COVID, right? I used to walk to the mall and go, oh, it's all the other online entrepreneurs in there. I love it. You know what I mean? We shop at 11 on a Wednesday, baby. Okay. We like such no evenings. But I love it. How do you say your name? I want to say web designers and graphic designers are one of our top favorite people to work with because we see the most success. They're one of the ones we see the most success in this business because you've got a little bit of skills and talent you can leverage right away. With our information and our business model, I mean, me, Tanya, all of our top performing women have a graphic design, web design, either background or have Nick picked it up in the process and picked up the ball and ran with it. So if this is something you would like to talk, yes, to give you the link to you sign up, let us know because if you're looking for more money and time, this is it.
Yes.
Right?
You should be messaging us.
What'd you say?
Borjana, am I saying it right? Like you should be messaging. You should be in the DM after this live stream.
You really, really should. Just a few final things. Like again, we said, a feminine business and our redefining of it and our defining of it for what we, Ty and I, and our company believes in feminine business is not something that eliminates or demonizes masculinity in business. It's just something that says, okay, where do I stand in this femininity, masculine spectrum? Am I all the way? Maybe you don't notice how masculine you've adopted or not incorporated some femininity, or even the structures of how you're doing it is based on some masculine structures. And is that putting you in a place where it's blocking your creativity? Is it blocking your intuition? Is it blocking, how you're showing up? Is it causing you, to work too hard or think it has? There's a lot of limiting beliefs we put on business. Oh, it has to be hard. I expect it to be hard. Well, most people expect it to be a year. I expect it to be 3. You know what I mean? Like, we just talk like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, no wonder, the universe is literally just delivering what we're expecting. If you expect it to be long and hard, the universe, God don't want to disappoint. He is going to give you everything you believe in. It's just the way he said, change the way you believe. If you want it to be fun, easy, more, and again, don't feel bad leaning in. Like I said, women are 4 times more likely to spend with the product, brand, or business that looks good. So as much as we talk about, oh my gosh, men judge women on their girl, don't tell them that we be doing that about 4 times harder. And look at your own personal behaviors of spending. When you're out and about, look at what you're drawn to buy. If it's sparkly, pretty, if it's pink, if it's in the front, if you know what I mean, look at how you just, I just can't wait. You know what I mean? It's saying that's okay. Because a lot of times I was grown up until Mary Kay, showed me different, where, oh my God, you get to have a pink car, what? You know what I mean? I never thought that just looks so much fun. Like if I'm going to do business, I want to do it Barbie's way. You know what I mean? Like shopping and mimosas and stuff like that too. So that's the cool thing. Like it is possible. And I'm not saying like all we do is like, some of y'all might not be in pink. And again, it's whatever that looks like for you, but it's honoring, again, the beauty.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about it. It's honoring you and who you are, how you want to show up, how you want to run business in a way that feels good, in a way that is in alignment to your being, right? So and when you do that, when you're operating that way, you want to show up every day. You don't have days where you're like dragging your feet to get to your office because you're showing up as like the best version of yourself every day. Like how beautiful is that? So everyone gets the best of you every day. And in turn, they become the best of who they are. And it's just it's beautiful. And on top of that, you're earning way more than you would pretty much doing anything else. And you still have time to operate in the other areas of your life. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, so her name is Borjana.
And I think I got it right.
She said, I definitely will reach out. Awesome. You should totally should, especially again if you're serious about increasing your income and doing it in a more feminine, simpler way. See, that's another thing that's about femininity business model. I think femininity business models are always looking for more simplicity, more relationship focus, and they're looking for, versus a masculine business that's looking for systems, automation, kind of like feminine business try to get to the core of what's the simplest things I can do that has the highest return. So again, I have time. I can move faster without the overwork of complexity. Because again, what did I say about testosterone? It's built to do that. So for men, that's second nature to, diaphragms, charts, they get like they're at the speed of light. They've got that extra gift. Women, not to say we can't do that. Absolutely, we can all learn, and some women do it very, very well. But most women, because of that, we need a little as possible. Because especially we got a list for the kids, for the husband, for the house. We don't need a business list that requires 50 million different moving components, especially at the beginning, until you become the smart next feminine woman who outsources and pays for things to get done. Yeah. That's the next level of the feminine business woman. And she's like, okay, anything that requires work that's taking up, I'm going to outsource it. So she's Borjana said, I would definitely reach out. I was a total tomboy growing up, and I'm growing up to be more girly and feminine. Well, that's awesome. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a tomboy. I had tomboyish moments. I won't say that, I remember climbing trees and cutting grass on a riding lawnmower, stuff like that. But it's just being a full expression of where you feel like, sometimes we feel like we have to grow up a certain way because, maybe maybe I won't feel good dressing in pink or won't be accepted or whatever it is, but it's just feeling good with it. So it doesn't mean you have to do it. Girly for some girls could be teal, you know what I mean? Or, black, you know what I mean? I love the color black. Yeah, it's not even that. It's making sure that, it's fun and that you're not blocking off your femininity flow, which is that creative intuition that, that inspired action that, that's really what it is more so than even the outer appearance, is honoring that we are creators by nature. We are powerful by nature. We have over history have been able to move mountains based off of just actually how we look. I'm not saying we have to put preference there, but that just goes to show you how simple we can really boil this down to. Okay, some women have figured it out. That's why they only do their looks. So they're like, I can master that. You mean I can just master that and I can move? But you know what I'm saying? Like, women have over history, even at the basic level, we've been able to cause wars just looking at somebody wrong. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? So
yeah. Love it. Ladies, this was so much fun as always. If you're watching the replay, #replay so we can come back and say hello to you. If you have any questions, comments about the program, definitely hit us up. We know Borjana's going to hit us up, so we'll be chatting with her soon. So if you're wondering more about what this is or how to be able to add femininity and fun to your life and to your business, you've reached the right place. That you're here for a reason. Everything does happen for a reason, and you're here, obviously to learn more. If you want to get connected even further, you can join our Facebook group at setupforsuccess.biz/community. And if you're ready to enroll, setupforsuccess.biz/enroll. And we will see you again next week, same time, same place.
Yes.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Okay, bye, ladies. Talk to you next week.